Welcome to Sustainability, the podcast that helps you live sustainably in an unsustainable world. Join host Ken Alston, a trusted expert in business sustainability with over 30 years of experience, as he cuts through the mental stress of navigating life and work amid overwhelming exponential changes. In a world where traditional sustainability models are failing, we challenge outdated thinking and introduce a nature-inspired 3D framework that connects your deepest values with how you live and work. If you're ready to shift perspectives, embrace new solutions, and build a thriving, meaningful life without the weight of sustainability guilt, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Sustainability, the podcast that helps you live more sustainably in an unsustainable world. I'm Ken Alston, your trusted guide on this journey. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by climate headlines? Confused by contradictory sustainability advice? Or maybe you're just tired of the mental stress that comes from trying to do the right thing in a world that seems designed to do the wrong thing. You're not alone. The world feels increasingly unsteady right now, doesn't it? You're checking your bank account more frequently, wondering why your groceries cost 40% more, and questioning whether your job will exist next quarter. Meanwhile, headlines about climate, politics, and global tensions trigger those fear loops that make planning for the future almost impossible. But what if there was a way to thrive? Not by ignoring reality, but by reconnecting with the deeper patterns that sustain all life. By finding your tribe of like-minded professionals who are all struggling with these same questions. Today I want to speak directly to what you're experiencing and introduce a different way to think about sustainability. Not as another burden, but as your path to sustainability and more sustainable growth in uncertain times. How can you, as a mid-career professional experiencing eco-anxiety and overwhelm, transform your understanding of sustainability to make confident decisions that align with your values and create a positive impact without burning out? That's what this podcast is all about, cutting through the noise to help you find clarity, purpose, make trusted connections, and yes, even find joy in creating a more sustainable life, work, and legacy. But let me first acknowledge what's happening right now. We're living through multiple overlapping exponential changes: economic turbulence, political turmoil, technological disruption, climate volatility, and social transformation, all at once. It's a hell of a lot, to say the least. When I started in corporate sustainability over 33 years ago, these challenges existed, but they moved at a slower, more linear pace. Today, the acceleration is palpable. It lives in your body as a tension, in your mind as overwhelm, and in your spirit as uncertainty about the future. The traditional approach to sustainability doesn't work here anymore. The flat, two-dimensional model of people, planet, and profits crumbles under these exponential pressures. It never addressed the fundamental underlying systems that create unsustainability in the first place. I discovered this the hard way. After pioneering sustainability programs for multinational corporations, I realized we were measuring impact with greater precision while the fundamental contradictions grew larger. When I later worked with the creators of the Cradle-to-Cradle design framework, I saw glimpses of a different approach, one that didn't just mitigate harm, but created genuine regeneration. What emerged for me during the COVID-19 lockdown was something far more powerful, a new three-dimensional nature-inspired framework that aligns with how living systems actually function and sustain life. My 3D tetrahedral model addresses sustainability not as a department or initiative, or three simplistic topics to pay attention to in a triple bottom line, but as the fundamental structure of life. Now, the term sustainability is everywhere these days, but what does it actually mean? As someone who spent decades working in this field, I can tell you that most people, even sustainability professionals, are operating with outdated, inaccurate, and inadequate definitions. I'll say a lot more about that in next week's episode. But for now, let's start by being honest about where many of us are right now. Here at point A. You're likely feeling some combination of information overload about environmental issues, perhaps guilt about your own impacts, confusion about what actions really make a difference, maybe frustration at jobs in businesses that make sustainable choices really difficult to do. You worry about the future, yourself, and your future generations. Does that sound familiar? I know, I've been there too. What I've discovered is that we can't solve today's complex sustainability challenges with yesterday's simple thinking. The traditional view of sustainability as social and environmental protection misses the mark. These old models, those flat Venn diagrams of overlapping circles representing environment, society and economy, or people, planet and profit, simply aren't equipped to handle the exponential changes that we're facing today. Our journey together over the coming episodes will help you reach point B in the future, where you'll have a clearer, actionable definition of what sustainability really means. You'll hear about a new three-dimensional framework for making decisions that are aligned with your deepest values. I'll provide some practical tools to integrate sustainability into your life and work. You'll gain the ability to create a positive impact without burning out. You'll recover a sense of purpose and even optimism about the future. And you'll have my private invitation to a community of like-minded professionals, people like you with sustainability values that are aching to burst out and be realized in the real world, if only you knew how or had a group of trusted colleagues to collaborate with. Now, this isn't about more sacrifice or adding to your eco-guilt. It's about asking better, smarter questions and finding a new way forward that works for you, for others, for the business you're in, and for life on this amazing planet we call Earth. If what I'm saying resonates with you, I invite you to visit www.circularitynetwork.com. Read the introduction, and then if you're interested, download the Google Doc application information you can find there. It sets out all the details, and you can decide if it's a fit for you or not. No pressure. By now you've probably realized that bots and fake personas are bombarding your social media with DMs, and your feed is drowning in more and more AI-generated BS. In the Circularity Network, we're beating back the bots, and we're connecting a community of trusted sustainability and circularity professionals together. So please check out www.circularitynetwork.com. Now, back to business. What can you expect from this podcast in the weeks to come? We'll be exploring 7 key pillars that form the foundation of a new diagnostic approach to sustain life and work. First, review. We'll review our understanding of what the terms sustainability and circular economy really mean. 2, reframe. We'll unlearn old sustainability models and do a complete axis shift to reframe unsustainability, transforming it into a new problem that we can then solve. Third, we reflect. We'll see what this new way of seeing sustainability opens up in your life, in your business. And then we'll go on to 4. We will reduce. There are things that we have to reduce to zero, and we can talk about these, but importantly, they're not the whole story. 5th, redesign. Applying my 3-dimensional design-like nature model to transform how you can become more sustainable. 6th, reposition. We need to examine our language, what we say, how we talk about sustainability. not just to avoid greenwashing, but to engage our customers in a new conversation about new business value. 7, we'll relaunch. We'll make changes in what we say and do as we go on this continuous improvement journey in repeated cycles. In each episode, I'll give you insights, fresh perspectives, and most importantly, the opportunity to ask better questions about sustainability in your life and in your work. New episodes will be published first in the Circularity Network community space, and if you're not a member, you can catch up later on Spotify. Now, here's what makes my approach different. We'll be using my Nature's Own 3D operating system as our guide. Nature has been sustaining life for 3.8 billion years. It's the only model of sustainability with a proven track record. Now, my Design Like Nature framework applies these principles to human systems, including businesses, in a way that's practical, actionable, and transformative. It's not going back to nature. It's about going forward with nature's wisdom, cycles, and systems. Throughout this series, we'll move from unlearning outdated concepts to personal transformation in understanding sustainability and the circular economy in a modern way. Then we'll move to professional and community impacts, and finally to advanced integrations that bring it all together. Now, the journey won't always be easy, but I promise it will be worth it. Because the world may be unsustainable, but your life doesn't have to be. Let me make this tangible. Last month I was speaking with a senior executive who confessed something that's rarely shared in professional circles. "I'm exhausted," she said. "I'm implementing our sustainability roadmap while watching our business model push in the opposite direction. It feels like running up a down escalator that's accelerating." You might recognize this feeling. This disconnection between what you know needs to happen and what seems possible within current systems is tough. The cognitive dissonance between quarterly targets and intergenerational responsibility. How do you bridge this gap? The gap between your deepest values and daily demands. I've lived in this tension for decades. I felt that same exhaustion when presenting long-term sustainability plans to boards focused on next quarter's results. I've experienced the frustration of watching innovative circular approaches get diluted back into linear thinking. But I've also discovered something profound. When you shift from flat 2D thinking to 3-dimensional understandings, new possibilities emerge. When you recognize the patterns that create genuine sustainability in natural systems, you find stability that transcends the momentary chaos we find ourselves in. To wrap up today, remember this. Sustainability isn't about perfection, it's about progression. Many of us have taken small steps in the right direction, which do add up to meaningful change over time. So next week, we'll dive into what is sustainability really, where I'll share the definitive answer to this frequently asked question and explain why most definitions get it completely wrong. I guarantee this episode alone will completely change your thinking and give you a powerful new framework for approaching sustainability in your life and work. Until then, I'm Ken Alston, your trusted sustainability guide, with the podcast that helps you live more sustainably in an unsustainable world.
That's it for today's episode of Sustainability. If this conversation sparked new ideas, be sure to follow, leave a review, and subscribe to stay updated. Join the conversation with us on LinkedIn and Instagram. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, stay aligned with your values, and keep building a better future.